Hello everyone and welcome to my CBS Soaps official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Wednesday, November 5, 2025. Today on The Young and the Restless, Noah can't remember the accident, Detective Burroughs grills Sienna, and Claire's shocked by Holden's story. In Claire's hotel room, Holden wants to tell her everything about what he and Audra did. Sitting, Holden recalls that it was in the days before he was working for Damien and was bartending at the Shadow Room. That's where he got to know Audra, who was a regular. He flashes to Audra walking in with a man who talked about owning a gallery. Supposedly, they were collaborating, with her the artist and he her patron. Claire thinks this sounds bad. Holden explains the man was trying to get her drunk and Audra was dodging his hands, trying to get away. He intervened, and the man threatened to have Mitch Backle fire him. Claire hopes Audra walked away, but Holden says, not until she did something that almost ruined both our lives. Audra lifted the guy's wallet and split. Holden didn't stop her because he hated control freaks like this man. He took after her, Novik explains. That's when all hell broke loose. Holden tells Claire that Audra showed up asking for help the next day. The guy had sent goons to her place, so she wanted Holden to plant the wallet back in the bar. When the man came back for it, a cashier's check for $500,000 was missing from the wallet. Holden recalls the man berating him. You were in on it with her. Holden had no choice but to be all in at this point. Mitch got involved and tried to defend Holden, but the man was out for blood and warned that Audra would pay. That's probably when she went to another country. He didn't see her again until Genoa City. Claire asks if she ever admitted to stealing the check. Holden thinks that's a given. He mentions that back then she was known as Audra Cortez. Claire asks the gallery owner's name, but Holden won't tell her. At the Shadow Room, Mitch finds Detective Burroughs sitting at the bar. I guess things didn't work out the way things planned, did they? Mitch shushes him. Sienna appears and Mitch introduces her, and she learns he's another one with questions about the night of Noah's accident. Sienna explains Noah's parents are trying to piece together the events of that night. He left there around midnight. Burroughs asks how Sharon and Nick knew their son had been there. Sienna explains she called Noah's phone. Mitch asks why. Sienna explains she had his information because they were going into business. When Burroughs asks if she recalls what time Noah left, she exclaims, "Are you accusing me of having something to do with the crash?" At the hospital, Nick is reunited with Noah, who is keen to get out of the bandages, and reveals that he doesn't remember what happened. Nick tells him it was just a car accident. They were hoping he could tell them how it happened. Noah apologizes and expresses his love to his parents. In the waiting area, Sharon joins Victoria and Nikki, who are getting an update from the doctor. She explains that Noah can't remember anything about the accident. She's told it's normal. Soon, they're all in with Noah, teasing him about a family reunion. Nick announces he has to go take care of something. Privately, Sharon tells Nick she's sick that Noah met Matt Clark. He needs to get answers but warns her not to tell Nikki and Victoria yet. They puzzle over Clark's endgame and then Nick takes off. Nikki and Victoria rejoin Sharon and hope the detective is doing his job. Sharon complains he hasn't showed up since that first night. Nikki's sure Victor will get to the bottom of this. Sharon keeps her lips sealed about Matt Clark, but Nikki can see she believes he's in danger. At the hospital, Nikki and Victoria grill Sharon about where Nick went for answers. Sharon shrugs that he's cautious with what he shares so as to not upset anyone. Talk turns to Claire and Holden. Victoria worries that she doesn't know anything about Holden and hopes she doesn't get in over her head. In Claire's room, Holden thinks she wants to know the gallery owner's name so she can hold this over Audra. Claire, grinning, pretends she hadn't thought of that. Holden declares that it's best he doesn't say the guy's name. He then explains that Audra eventually sent him $100,000 cash as a thank you. He kept it. If she goes down, he goes down too. At the Shadow Room, Nick sneaks in and listens as Detective Burroughs asks Sienna where she lives. She's not interested in telling him, but Mitch booms, Malibu Canyon? Burroughs notes the accident took place near there. Sienna suggests Noah was going to see Mitch, who reminds them he was out of town. Burroughs leaves. Nick lurks as Mitch questions Sienna about Noah having an accident on their side of town. Nick rushes out from his hiding spot, grabs Mitch, and sucker punches him as Sienna gawps. The Young and the Restless, Wednesday, November 5, 2025. Today on The Young and the Restless, Noah can't remember the accident, Detective Burroughs corners Sienna, and Claire's left reeling after Holden's confession. The episode opens in Claire's hotel suite, a dimly lit room with the curtains drawn and the faint hum of city traffic outside. Holden paces, running his hands through his hair, clearly torn about what to reveal. Claire sits cross-legged on the bed, watching him warily, her phone recording on the nightstand just in case things turn ugly. Holden, you said you wanted to tell me everything, she presses. Start from the beginning, what really happened with you and Audra. Holden exhales, sinking onto the chair opposite her. It was before Damien hired me. I was still bartending at the Shadow Room back then, trying to stay out of trouble, which didn't exactly work out. Claire folds her arms, and that's where you met Audra. He nods slowly. She was a regular, confident, smart, the kind of woman who could own a room without trying, but she always had someone different with her. One night she came in with this guy, older, arrogant, and drunk on his own money. Said he owned a gallery, talked about how Audra was his muse, his project. He practically spits the word out. Claire leans forward. That sounds like bad news. It was worse than bad, Holden says bitterly. He kept touching her, whispering things she didn't like. She tried to brush him off, but he didn't take the hint. When I stepped in, he threatened me, said he'd have my boss fire me. Mitch Backall was still managing the place then. The guy wasn't bluffing either, he had power, money, connections. The kind of man who thinks everyone's beneath him. Claire frowns, so what happened? Holden hesitates, looking at her intently. Audra did something that night that almost destroyed both our lives. The nightclub is loud, lights flickering over the crowd. A younger Holden wipes down the bar as Audra, sleek in a gold dress, stands beside the gallery owner. He's leaning too close, ordering another drink. When he turns his back, Audra's eyes flash, a look of anger mixed with desperation. Her hand slides into his jacket pocket, quick as lightning, and when she turns away, there's a wallet in her clutch. Holden sees everything. He freezes, gripping the counter, heart pounding. The man laughs, boasting to his friends about an exclusive art exhibit. Then he realizes his wallet is missing. Where the hell? He glares at Holden. You were right here, you saw her, didn't you? Holden says nothing. He hates the guy's tone, his entitlement. He watches Audra disappear into the crowd, heels clicking against the floor. Back to the present. Claire's jaw drops, she stole from him. Holden nods, took the wallet, walked right out. I should have stopped her, but I didn't. I thought he deserved whatever was coming to him. Claire can't believe it. You let her walk out after robbing the guy. Holden's tone sharpens. You don't understand, she was terrified. And so was I once he came after her. The next day, she showed up at my place. Said his goons had gone through her apartment looking for her. She wanted me to sneak the wallet back into the bar before he realized what was missing. Claire tilts her head. Did you? I tried, Holden admits. But by the time the guy came back, something else was gone from that wallet, a cashier's check for $500,000. When he realized it, he lost it, accused me of being in on it. Claire whistles. $500,000, that's not just petty theft, that's grand larceny. Holden chuckles bitterly. Tell me about it. Mitch tried to defend me, but the guy was furious. Said he'd make sure Audra paid for what she did. That's when she disappeared, probably skipped the country. I didn't see her again until Genoa City. Claire asks quietly, did she ever admit to taking the check? Holden smirks. She didn't have to. Audra Cortez doesn't admit anything, she just makes it disappear. Claire presses, what was the gallery owner's name? Holden stiffens, you don't need to know that. Why not? Because I know that look in your eyes, Claire. You want to use it against her, and trust me, that man, you don't want to open that door again. Claire sighs, fine, but if Audra's back to her old tricks, someone needs to expose her. Holden leans forward, just stay out of it. The last time I tried to expose Audra, I almost lost everything. She sent me $100,000 later, called it a thank you. I took it because I needed it, but if she goes down, I go down too. Meanwhile, at the Shadow Room, Detective Burrows sits at the bar, flipping through his notes. Mitch wipes the counter, pretending not to notice. I guess things didn't go the way you planned, huh, Detective? Mitch says with a knowing grin. Burrows smirks, still trying to keep your friends out of trouble, Backall. Mitch leans closer, depends on which friend you're talking about. Before Burrows can respond, Sienna enters, sleek, composed, but tense. She glances around nervously. Mitch waves her over. Detective Burrows, meet Sienna, she was here the night of Noah's accident. Burroughs eyes her, convenient. Sienna stiffens, excuse me. Just means you might be the last person to see him before the crash, so why don't you tell me what happened? Sienna crosses her arms. Noah left around midnight, that's all I know. Burroughs scribbles in his notebook, and how did his parents know he was here? I called his phone, she says curtly. Burroughs raises an eyebrow, why? Sienna hesitates, we were going into business together, I had his contact info. The detective studies her face, what kind of business? Sienna's eyes narrow, what are you implying, detective? Are you accusing me of something? Burroughs leans back, I'm just trying to piece together the timeline, because from where I'm standing, you're the only one who seems nervous. Mitch jumps in, trying to lighten the mood. Maybe you should be looking at the roads instead of the bar, detective. That crash site's got more stories than any of us. At Memorial Hospital, Noah stirs awake, his head bandaged. The monitors beep softly. Nick sits at his bedside, exhaustion etched into his face. When Noah opens his eyes, there's confusion and then relief. Dad, he murmurs. Nick grabs his hand. Hey kiddo, you're all right, you scared the hell out of us. Noah groans, trying to sit up. What happened? Why can't I remember? Nick sighs, you were in a car accident. They said it's normal not to remember everything right away. Noah frowns, was anyone else hurt? No, just you, you're lucky. Noah's eyes glisten, I'm sorry Dad, I didn't mean to. Hey, Nick interrupts softly, you've got nothing to apologize for, just focus on healing, all right. In the hallway, Sharon joins Victoria and Nikki, who are speaking to the doctor. He can't remember anything, Sharon says anxiously. They said it's temporary, but... Victoria puts a hand on her shoulder. Give it time, the brain has its own way of protecting itself. Nikki sighs, thank God he's alive, but we still don't know who he met that night. Sharon lowers her voice, Nick's looking into it, but please don't tell Victor yet. Victoria frowns, why not? Because, Sharon whispers, it involves someone from Nick's past, Matt Clark. Nikki's face hardens, that name again, he's supposed to be dead. Tell that to the man who's been stalking my family, Sharon murmurs. Back at the shadow room, tension rises again. Sienna stands at the bar, arms crossed. Are we done here, detective? Burroughs gives her a long look, for now. He leaves and Mitch exhales. You really know how to get under people's skin, don't you? Sienna glares, Noah's crash had nothing to do with me. Mitch shrugs, then why do you look so guilty? Before she can reply, a shadow moves near the entrance, Nick listening in. His jaw tightens as Mitch mutters something about their side of town and covering tracks. That's enough. Nick steps forward, grabbing Mitch by the collar. You think this is a game? My son almost died. Mitch stumbles back, shocked as Sienna gasps, Nick, stop. But it's too late. Nick's fist connects with Mitch's jaw, sending him reeling against the bar. Glasses shatter. Sienna screams for them to stop, but Nick doesn't back down. Tell me what you know, he shouts. What happened to my son? Mitch, clutching his jaw, spits blood. You're barking up the wrong tree, Newman. Maybe you should ask your detective why he's been sniffing around Sienna's place in Malibu Canyon. Nick freezes, what? Sienna's eyes dart away, a flicker of guilt she can't hide. Nick's voice drops to a dangerous whisper. What the hell were you doing near the crash site, Sienna? She stammers, I didn't. But the truth is already out there, hanging heavy in the air. Back in Claire's room, she's deep in thought, staring at her phone. Holden's words echo in her head, if she goes down, I go down too. She scrolls through old photos of Audra, one in particular showing her at an art gallery years ago, beside a man whose name has been scrubbed from every online article. Claire mutters to herself, we'll see about that. Holden watches her, you're not gonna let this go, are you? She smirks, you should know me better than that. Tomorrow on The Young and the Restless. Nick confronts Sienna with proof she lied about Malibu Canyon. Claire's discovery about the gallery owner sends shockwaves through Genoa City, and Audra returns, ready to turn every accusation back on them all. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and don't miss any updates.